Napoleon is directed by Ridley Scott and stars Joaquin as the title character. Going into this movie, I didn't really know what to expect. I don't think there is any doubt from anyone that Joaquin is a fantastic actor, and I liked the trailers for this movie. But Ridley Scott can be very hit or miss these days, so going into a Ridley Scott movie, it kind of feels like a gamble as to what you're gonna get. I do think the best part of Napoleon, especially for the first two acts, is the relationship between Napoleon and Josephine, played by Vanessa Kirby. It is a very toxic relationship, and the way the filmmakers played that, it was often quite interesting to watch. I've got to say, Vanessa Kirby is especially fantastic in this movie, and within all this, the film portrays Napoleon as a bit of a buffoon, so in that sense, Josephine really has a power over Napoleon, and I liked that dynamic. Also, this movie's pretty funny. It has some surprisingly good jokes for a film about Napoleon. Also, the battle sequences. Ridley Scott has directed many in his time, so this isn't exactly new territory for him. But in the battle sequences, I do appreciate how raw they can feel. They can get very violent, and I was kind of taken aback by the violence in this film because I didn't expect how violent it would be. And that violence and how raw it can be does create a sense of grittiness for the film. However, Napoleon is a film that really struggles with time management. It is one of these movies that tries to condense a whole life into 2.5 hours, and the pacing in this film is not good. I think especially for the first two acts, there really is a struggle in terms of balancing all the aspects of his life. It deals with his love life, his time in the military, his time as emperor. The film really struggles with understanding how long to spend on certain things. There are some parts that feel rushed, there are some parts they spend too much time on, and as a whole the pacing feels choppy, the film just doesn't flow. And I will say another issue I have with the time in this movie is that you never really have an understanding of how much time has passed. For example, I won't give any specifics, but there was one part in the film where a character said, oh, it's been 15 years or something like that. I was just like, what? It feels like it's been about 3. The film never really gives you a sense of time. So I will say the first hour and 45 minutes of this movie, I was mixed on it because I liked the relationship, but it did have time issues. However, the third act is where the film really went downhill for me. This is where the film struggles with pacing in terms of it just does not know when to end. The film just feels like it's dragging on and dragging on. It never feels like it's going to end. They keep introducing new plot points and new characters. I was just like, this film really feels like it should have ended 20 minutes ago. I can guarantee Napoleon is going to have a very mixed response. There are going to be people who absolutely love it. There are going to be people who really don't like this movie. I definitely didn't hate it. There are things I do like about it. But in the end, Napoleon did not work for me. I'm going to give Napoleon a C. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.